I call this meeting to order at 7:30 p.m. We will now move into Section 2, swearing in. Will Senator Kevin Dunn please stand? Please raise your right hand, and if you accept at the end, please respond with "I do." Do you hereby swear that you will faithfully serve the students of Wichita State University, act in accordance with the Constitution of the student body, fulfill all duties, responsibilities of the office in which you are about to enter, and to the best of your ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the student body of Wichita State University? Congratulations. We will now move into Section 3, opening roll call.
Voting is now open.
Okay, we have 28 members present. We will now move into Section 4, messages from the student body president. There are none. We will now move into Section 5, messages from the Finance Commission.
The Commission has reviewed individual and organizational funding requests submitted by students and student organizations. Allocations were determined in accordance with SGA funding policies and eligibility requirements. For individual funding, this past week, the Commission allocated $1,170.78 for one AIAA SciTech conference. For organizational funding, the Commission allocated funds for 2 applications. The Commission funded the AI Club for $1,500 and Christian Challenge for $1,500. These recommendations reflect each organization's compliance with SGA funding policies and their contributions to student engagement and development. The Commission will not meet again until March 27th due to student fee entity visits, student fees, and spring break.
Thank you. We'll now move into Section 6, messages from the agencies. There are none. We'll now move into Section 7, 3-minute floor speeches. In lieu of senators using public forum as a mechanism to address the Senate, any senator may seek recognition to give a speech on a subject of their choice, not exceeding 3 minutes in duration. 3-minute speeches are focused on specific topics. Senators may only hold the floor once during this period. Are there any senators that wish to speak at this time? Seeing none, we'll now move into Section 8, public forum. Public forum provides a chance for individuals to have the privilege of speaking before the Senate, limited to 3 minutes only. This is a time for the Senate to listen to what the community has to say, and to that we offer our undivided respect and attention. I would like to remind everyone that, although we allow the speakers the privilege to use the platform, the opinions of the speakers do not reflect the opinions of the association. Do any individuals wish to speak at this time during public forum? Okay, seeing none, we'll now move into Section 9, introductions and reports, and we will now move into 9.1, report from the executive branch.
Hello again. Okay, so Student Body President Wong is currently making university committee appointments. She also met with Provost Lounsbury, attended the Budget Advisory meeting, and will be attending the Vice President of Student Affairs search on Thursday and Friday. She is also working on compiling and following up with responses from Higher Education Day survey and reviewing fiscal data report from student fees entities. I also met with Provost Lounsbury and met with a few partners for the food security initiatives. FLC's first event was a success this past week and had 210 attendees. So let's give FLC, the Freshman Leadership Council, a round of applause. President Wong and I also met with Councilman Joseph Shepard to seek partnership with Wichita State and the surrounding communities. Student Body Treasurer Bum completed his Tea with Treasure presentation for RSO Week. He also conducted the Finance Commission and saw 2 individual funding and 4 organizational funding requests. Director of Legislative Affairs and Policy Arns gave the legislation information at Committee of the Whole today. Director of Media Relations Zhang uploaded Higher Education Day photos and is currently working on the SGA calendar, community garden signage, accessibility report, and Higher Ed Day recap. Director of Community Engagement Outreach, Gracia Alvarez, had his S'more Love for Justice event, and it went really well as we interacted with students we don't normally see during the academic day. Director of Student Organizations Khan is working hard on his RSO week that is happening this week. Yesterday was Tea with the Treasure, today was the Reserving Space event, and tomorrow is the marketing workshop. Director of International Student Affairs Safdar is waiting for General Counsel's approval on the agreement review of the Kansas Leadership Center leadership training workshop and meeting with the VP of Alumni Engagement to develop the International Alumni Network. Director of Athletics Murphy is in his final planning stages of the Shocker Pride campus-wide athletics tailgate happening on March 7th, and we'll be meeting with the full planning team again on Friday. Another great note is that WSU won against Tulsa on Saturday, 81-77, and is currently tied for second in the conference, which is really exciting. Director of Professional Development Guthrie is currently in his soft skills workshop happening right now, and we are eager to hear how it goes after Senate. Undergraduate Student Advocate Island is currently managing 6 active cases, 4 academic appeals, 1 academic program dismissal, and 1 financial concern. And lastly, Graduate Student Advocate Khan is currently managing 1 graduate program dismissal case. Are there any questions?
Thank you. Are there any questions for Vice President Nguyen? Seeing none, we will now move into 9.2, report from the Speaker of the Senate. Hi everyone, hope your week is going well. I have a few updates for you all. This meeting is a final meeting where I am appointing senators. So all Senate applications have been reviewed and all interviews have been concluded for the Senate. As a reminder, the deadline to declare candidacy for the 69th session is March 1st at 5:00 p.m. If you are declaring for Senate, I would highly encourage you to declare as soon as possible to account for any delays or the possibility of addressing any potential problems with the candidacy. If you need help or have questions regarding declaring candidacy, I will stay after Senate for a few minutes to help whoever needs help applying through Shocker Sync. Last Thursday, Senator Mallard, Senator Parker, Senator Naylor, Senator Rehnquist, and Chief Elections Commissioner England and I visited Spectrum at the general meeting to talk about the upcoming elections and the Plus or Minus initiative. Yesterday, I also sent out an email to each. Yesterday, or within the past 2 days, I sent an email out to each senator to schedule spring one-on-one meetings. So if you haven't responded yet, please do so we can get those on the calendar. Additionally, there are 3 upcoming tabling events coming up for SGA. The first one is WSU Day on March 28th from 9 a.m. to 2:00 p.m. in the RSC Banks Ballroom. So we'll need a couple volunteers to table for those shifts. We will be tabling in conjunction with the Freshman Leadership Council, so I'll be sending out that link soon as well. SGA will also be hosting a coffee and dialogue event on February 24th at the RSC Blue Stem Lounge from 10:30 to 1:00 p.m. And finally, the 3rd SGA Connect event will also be on February 25th in Woolsey Hall on the first floor from 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. So in a few short moments, I'll be sending out the link to sign up for all 3 of those events. Attendance will be made mandatory for the Coffee and Dialogue and the SGA Connect events, where participation is required for 1 of the 2 events. A memo should go out tomorrow for more details. Starting this week, I will also be forming a work group and set up meetings to revisit and review Senate committee structures for the 69th session. 3 sessions ago, the Senate adjusted the committee structures to the 4 current standing committees that we have now, as opposed to the subcommittee structure and additional committees that we had then. In addition to Senate leadership, I would love to have at least one senator from each committee at minimum be a part of the discussions as well. The main priority of the group is to draft a proposal, recommendation, or legislation to present to the wider body during the March 4th Committee of the Whole meeting. Senators that are interested should speak to me after Senate is adjourned. For next Wednesday's meeting, there will be no Committee of the Whole meeting, as the Freshman Leadership Council will be in this room to have a mock Senate session with Vice President Lynn and I. As a result, Senate committees will be an hour longer and will run from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. I would encourage senators to have legislation, initiatives, and items to discuss for next week's meetings with the extended time. Additionally, the Student Services Committee will meet in RSC 262 next week as opposed to their normal room of RSC 268, and that change will be reflected within the calendar invite soon. As a reminder, the legislation deadline to turn in legislation for next Wednesday's Senate meeting is 5:00 p.m. on Friday. When you turn in your legislation, it is not guaranteed to be placed on the agenda if I determine it is not ready or that several items have to be fixed. I would strongly encourage you to turn in legislation before Friday if it is already completed. You do not have to wait until Friday to turn in legislation. For committee and Senate reads, I would also like to reiterate that if you have questions, amendments, feedbacks, or concerns regarding legislation, to reach out to the sponsor of the legislation or to the chairperson of the different committee. It is better to work together to improve, edit, or uplift legislation rather than wait until the last minute to make changes, especially when we only have 9 weeks left this session for our Senate meetings, including our student fee processes. For tonight's Senate agenda, we have 4 pieces of legislation for Senate review. So we have SB-68-148 and SB-68-151, which are the 2 remaining senator appointment bills. We also have an appointment bill that will appoint Senator Andrew Beam as the pro temp to the Academic Affairs Committee. And then finally, we have a resolution honoring Mike Kennedy as well. Additionally, for the consent agenda, we will be approving Senator Beam's pro temp legislation on the consent agenda, and then I will be pulling the February 10th Senate meeting minutes from the agenda as well. As always, if you have any questions, thoughts, or concerns, feel free to reach out to me at my email at ashay.speaker@wichita.edu, or reach out to me via GroupMe or text. Thank you all. I'll stand for any questions if you have any for me. Are there any questions? Seeing no questions, we will now go to 9.3, report from the Senate chairpersons, and we'll go to the report from Academic Affairs Chairperson Kasir Safar.
Good evening, everyone. The Academic Affairs Committee continues its work on the plus and minus grading system initiative. Today, our committee hosted a tabling event at the RSC. The committee has been actively reviewing and organizing the survey data collected so far. We are currently reviewing and organizing the survey data to make sure student opinions are clearly represented and understood. At the next Senate meeting, the Academic Affairs Committee will present a detailed PowerPoint report summarizing the survey results and feedback collected from students. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Chairperson Kasir so far? Okay, seeing none, we will now hear the report from Diversity, Empowerment, Inclusion Chairperson Peng.
Jukmung Namoy, Happy Lunar New Year, everyone, for those who celebrate. Today in committee, we joined Student Services in on a conversation with UPD and Parking Services, during which each senator had a chance to ask any questions they wanted to. Unfortunately, we did have to table AR-68-012, an act to recommend that the Wichita State University recognizes international holidays until next week due to time restraints. If you have any thoughts, questions or comments regarding this resolution, please reach out to either Senator Haynes or I, and we'll get back to you. Other than that, on Friday afternoon, this upcoming Friday afternoon, Health and Wellness Director Raju will join me at the Spectrum Exec meeting to discuss what we can do for students within Spectrum regarding the Gender Neutral Bathroom Initiative. But that is all for me. I will stand for questions.
Are there any questions for Chairperson Peng? Seeing none, thank you. We will now hear the report from Government Oversight Chairperson Tawana.
Good evening, everyone. As for this week, we have approved two legislations, one association resolution AR by Senator Orton for updating RSO handbook by adding the tier system in it. Other than that, we have approved SB-68-144, an act to amend the constitution, bylaws and statutes to clarify language and eliminate duplicity, where we made one amendment to the document and it should be ready for the second read in Senate by next week. Other than that, we have tabled Senator Lee's association for holidays on elections day by next week, as he was sick today and couldn't make it to the committee meeting. So if you have any suggestions you want to add to that resolution, please reach out to me or Senator Lee. That's pretty much all.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Chairperson Tawana? Seeing none, thank you. We'll now go to the report from Student Services Chairperson Hansen.
Good evening, everyone. My committee hosted UPD and parking services this evening alongside DEI to foster collaboration and find inspiration for our committee initiatives. I've been working with Speaker Fawn and President Wang on amending and creating bylaws for the CDC Advisory Board, which should be on the floor next week, hopefully. Senator Argumedo is still hard at work with his Lyft medical rideshare initiative. We met with Advisor Fonseca and Speaker Fawn previously, and we have a meeting scheduled with the Health and Wellness Director Raju to gather feedback and next steps. Senator Winslow is gathering data from other universities to start a police advisory board on campus to ensure quality communication and relationships between students and UPD. We also had a table AR-68-011, an act to update my WSU with student health services until next week due to time constraints. That's all I have.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Chairperson Hansen? Okay, seeing none, we will now move into 9.4, report from the central office.
Nothing at this time.
Okay, we will now move into section 10, the consent agenda. So we currently have two items on the consent agenda: appointing Senator Andrew Beams to serve as the pro temp of the Academic Affairs Committee, and I am pulling the approval of the February 11, 2026 Senate meeting minutes from consideration. So we will only be approving SB-68-150 on the consent agenda. Are there any objections to the consent agenda? Seeing none, is adopted as such. We will now move into section 11, pending business. There is none. We will now move into section 12, new business, and we'll move into 12.1. The clerk may read.
Act on request to approve SB-68-148, appointing Amanur Rahman as the Liberal Arts and Science Senator.
Hi, everyone. So for this legislation, I'm appointing Amunur Rahman as the Liberal Arts and Sciences Senator. So he's a graduate student pursuing a master's degree in sociology. He's also a graduate teaching assistant right here at Wichita State. He has extensive experience with research and has participated in both national and international conferences. He also has organizational and leadership experience through his involvement at previous institutions, in addition to the different activities that he has participated in the past as well. Within his interview, one thing that stuck out to me was he had really strong time management skills and organizational skills, and I'm really looking forward to all the ideas that he has for Senate as well. But I invite the nominee to come up to speak a little bit more about himself as well.
Good evening, everyone. This is Amanur Rahman, and I'm from Department of Sociology, graduate student. I'm continuously continue my graduate teaching assistantship, and I'm from Bangladesh, and I'm very much actually interested to join this SGA because I like to believe on actually the student voice, and I like to actually express the student what they want to say. And actually in my liberal arts faculty and department, as there are lots like less opportunities in research, and there are less opportunities actually to contribute their research work. So I want to actually explore this sector, and I want to actually focus on this side, and I want to actually do something for the students and to enlarge these opportunities because as a student of liberal arts, we need to actually communicate the society with civic engagement, not only the academic works. So this will be my priority because I also like to in research activities and join to conferences. It can be national, it can be international. And there's also the lots of opportunities available in our campus, but the students don't know about the opportunities. So it will be also can be good initiative if we actually can able to know all of the student what the opportunities available in our department, in our campuses. So there are lots of students who actually comes and they don't actually know how to generate their opportunities. So it can be a great initiative if we can take some let them know to what they can do and what they can actually opportunities available here. And I also want to actually emphasize on diversity, and in terms of this diversity, I can see that in this semester, in my department and the departments of liberal arts, there are very few students who comes actually from international students. And but in the before the fall, in last fall semester, there was lots of students. But in this semester, this also in decreasing the number of those international students. So in these cases, the diversity of our university is decreasing. So it can be a good initiative if we take some initiative into this diversity and to encourage the students of the international. So and I want to also work with the government oversight committee because I like the student organization can actually impact in the students' life, and because I was also engaged in lots of student activities in my undergrad when I was undergrad students, and I believe that that can actually express one student very well, and I believe on the student voices. So thank you so much for giving me these opportunities, and I look forward to work with you and hope to be a good upcoming session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Are there any questions for the nominee or I? Okay, seeing none, thank you. We'll now move into the debate period for.
Thank you.
We'll now move into the debate period for this item. Before I call on any of you to speak on the debate, as a reminder, senator appointment bills require a 2/3 majority vote, have only one read, is approved or failed in the same meeting that the legislation is presented. So with that, I will open up the debate period for anyone that wishes to speak. Are there any individuals that wish to speak in debate at this time? Senator Mallard.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I think there's a lot of really good ideas that you've brought up, especially with research. I know that there's actually a little bit of talk going around about what we can do to enhance that. I'm also working on some legislation, so I'd love to work on that with you. But I think you had a lot of great ideas, and so I'm excited to have you as a fellow LAS senator.
Thank you. Are there any additional individuals that wish to speak in debate at this time? Okay, seeing none, we'll now move into the voting period for this item.
Before we get into the voting period, I just want to remind everyone with the attendance of 28, simple majority would be 15 and 2/3 majority is 19. With that, the voting is open. With 28 yeses, this bill passes.
We will now move into 12.2. The clerk may read.
Act on request to approve AR-68-013, an act to honor Mike Kennedy, the voice of the Shockers.
Is the author here ready to speak? You have the floor.
Hello, everybody. It feels kind of weird to be back up here. For those who don't know me, I'm the Director for Athletic Engagement, Patrick Murphy. So this resolution is fairly straightforward. So Mike Kennedy, he's been the radio broadcaster for men's basketball, baseball, and does the broadcast for volleyball. He's been doing this since the 1980s. His very first season was the 81 season. He had a unbroken streak of 1,419 games called, and that was only broken once, and it's because he had cancer. That's pretty impressive. I don't know about you guys. Yeah, so he's going to be retiring at the end of the season, and this Saturday at the game against Temple, it's going to be Mike Kennedy night. So there's going to be a bunch of awards, a bunch of recognitions, stuff like that, and I felt like this would be a fitting thing to give him for all of the years of service that he's provided to WSU, WSU fans, students, everyone. Yeah, that's kind of it.
Thank you. Are there any questions for the author? We'll go to Senator Mallard.
I just want to inquire if this has been deemed timely so that it can be presented on Saturday, or?
Yes. We've been in contact with the athletics department in order to secure a time that we would be able to include this, and it kind of depended on if it would pass. I mean, I hope it would, but yes, if this were to be passed, it would be presented on Saturday again, which is why it was deemed timely.
Are there any additional questions from the author? Seeing none, thank you. We will now move into the debate period for this item. So for this legislation, as Director Murphy mentioned, I have deemed this legislation timely. This means that the legislation only requires one read and is approved or failed in the same meeting that the legislation is presented, unless it is tabled or voted to be referred to a committee. This resolution only requires a simple majority vote to pass. So with that, we'll move into the debate period. Are there any individuals that wish to speak at this time? We'll go to Senator Mallard.
Motion approved by unanimous consent.
Are there any objections to this motion? Seeing none, is adopted as such. We will now move into 12.3. The clerk may read.
Act on request to approve SB-68-151, appointing Ryan Taylor as a freshman senator.
So for this legislation, it would be appointing Ryan Taylor as freshman senator. He's an undergraduate student majoring in business economics. He's also a freshman, first-generation student at Wichita State, and he's aspiring to become a lawyer and expand his understanding of the political and legal systems. One thing that stuck out to me was within our interview process was his passion and excitement for all things related to student government and learning more about the processes. In addition, he demonstrated to me strong communication, time management, and organizational skills within his interview as well. But I will now invite Ryan up to speak a little bit more about himself.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry, I'm bad with this. Is it like to hear? Okay, perfect. Um, uh, my name is Ryan Taylor. As previously stated, I am a freshman business major, and I have aspirations to become a personal injury lawyer after undergrad. The primary reason why I was really interested in the Student Government Association is that I've always really had a strong passion for politics. It's always been something that I've been really involved with my whole life. I've always really wanted to make a difference, and I've really struggled to find a mergence of that passion with actual examples in real life until recently in my senior year of high school, where I began to volunteer a lot more within my local community. And coming up my first semester of college, I actually worked with the ACLU regarding a bail bond situation in my seminar class. It gave me a lot of useful experience that really guided me towards the political processes, and especially as someone who aspires to become a lawyer, I myself am just really excited to get involved with a government organization and get to really understand how they work and how they function. If I am to be successfully appointed, I would like to support an initiative that would provide free contraceptives and pregnancy tests on campus through the Shocker Support Locker, as well as increase awareness and advertising towards SGA-provided resources and funding initiative, or not funding, just initiatives. Lastly, as a first-generation student, I have definitely feel sometimes where I'm underrepresented, and through my position as a freshman senator, I would really like to advocate for others who are experiencing college for the first time, as well as other demographics that have been historically unrepresented throughout their college experiences. Going forward with that, I would just like to thank Mr. Fan for my nomination, as well as an opportunity to advocate for my fellow students at WSU, especially freshmen and first years. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Are there any questions for the nominee or I? Senator Maurer?
Yeah, you mentioned you want to increase representation for, especially like generation other groups. Do you just have an idea on stuff you might want to do for that?
I have a couple of ideas. I would really like to organize more events. I know we have a whole organization, but I feel like they don't often get promoted. Perhaps maybe establishing more scholarship opportunities or scholarship connections for first-year students, as well as surrounding internship opportunities for those, or connection networking events for people who are interested in getting themselves more involved on campus.
Are there any additional questions? Chairperson Peng?
Hi, welcome. I know we seem like a little intimidating bunch, but I promise we're not. You talked a little bit about initiatives regarding free contraceptives in the Shocker Support Locker. Can you kind of explain that a little bit more?
Yes, I have several friends back in Texas who actually talked about their schools providing free contraceptives, primarily in the form of condoms, to students within their first week as metrics in order to prevent, teenage pregnancy and all those things among college students. As someone who was a child of some parents who were on the younger side, I believe that is very important to provide students with the means of accessible and free contraceptives. I believe that could perhaps be done through a coordination of funding legislation to provide that for students.
Are there any additional questions? Okay, seeing none, thank you.
Thank you.
We will now move into the debate period on this item. Are there any individuals who wish to speak in debate at this time? Chairperson Hanson?
I move to pass this with unanimous consent.
Unfortunately for senator appointment bills, it requires a 2/3 majority vote. Is there any other individuals who wish to speak in debate at this time? Okay, seeing none, we'll now move into the voting period for this item.
Voting is now open. With 27 yeses, 1 abstain, this bill passes.
Thank you. And with that, we'll now move into section 13, closing roll call.
Voting is now open.
Okay, before we move into section 14, I would once again extend my congratulations to the 2 nominees for being appointed to the Senate. For those that are interested in being part of that work group, please come and see me after Senate. Additionally, if you were in the joint committee meeting and you requested to schedule one-on-one on Friday, please come and see me as well. And then finally, if you have any questions about how to declare candidacy, I'll stay behind for a few minutes as well. But with that, we'll now move into section 14, adjournment. The Student Government Association Student Senate will stand in adjournment until Wednesday, February 25th at 7:30 p.m. I adjourn this meeting at 8:07 p.m.